I have just invested 3 lakh rupees into 3 different Indian stocks earlier this week. And yes, here's the proof. So I'm taking my trades through 2 different accounts. The first trade I'm taking is from my Kite Zerodha account. So initially I thought of investing 2 lakhs, but since I saw an opportunity, I wanted to invest a bit more. So I invested a total of 3 lakhs from 2 different accounts which I have. One is my Zerodha Kite account and this is my Upstocks account. So as you can see, I have taken all of my trades. Hello everyone and welcome to another session of learning to invest using AI. My name is Shramik Bose and you are watching MT Alpha. Now in today's video, I will walk you through why exactly I chose these 3 stocks, how AI helped me choose them, and how did I build the conviction that they will beat the market over time. So, as you saw, I invested in these 3 companies, AWHCL, MGL, and ICICI. Antony Waste Handling caught my attention because India's waste handling industry is changing fast. With cities growing and new government policies on recycling and vehicle scrappage, companies like Antony are right at the center of this shift. They already serve multiple municipalities and are expanding into newer areas like construction waste handling and biomining. Their margins are improving, debt is low, and I see a steady compounder in a very underpenetrated sector. ICICI Lombard is more of a defensive play. It is India's largest private general insurer, and what I like is they have been very disciplined in their profitability growth instead of chasing market share. And they have focused on the retail health insurance sector. They're leveraging technology, improving underwriting quality, and maintaining strong returns on equity. It's kind of a business that compounds quietly in the background while giving some stability to the portfolio. And finally, I have Mahanagar Gas, which is going to be the sole example that I take to explain how I have done my research. At the very end of this video, I'm going to share you the GPT prompt which I have used in order to better understand the businesses and the quality of stock while picking it. So the first question that might come to your mind is, hey Shomik, how did you finalize these 3 stocks out of all of the stocks in the Indian stock market? Well, the answer lies in the previous video which I have uploaded where I showed I have built a screener which screens stocks based on my requirements. So my screener threw me these particular stocks and I dug deeper into them to find out whether they are actually investable or not. Now let me explain how do I manually and how do I use AI to help me dig deeper into a stock to understand the business and to understand whether there is an investment potential in this or not. The first thing that I do is to go over to screener or trendline or ticker tape to analyze whether the stock has potential or not and to better understand the company. So if you go to the about section, it will give you a very high level idea of what this company does. So the things that I would look at is whether the earnings are improving or not, whether the company has increasing debt or decreasing debt, what is the company's PE as compared to its competitors, and whether the PE is lesser than what it was, meaning whether it is overvalued or undervalued. I would look at whether the quarterly results are improving or not, whether there is a sectoral tailwind or not, whether the government is supporting the sector where this company operates. So as you can see over here, the quarterly results tell you that the company is consistently growing. So you need to compare the June quarter's operating profit to the last June quarter, and you can see that there is a considerable improvement and it applies to all of the previous quarters. Looking at the quarterly results, what I try to see is whether the results are improving or not, whether the net profit is increasing or not, whether the EPS, most importantly, whether the earning per share is increasing or not. So what you just saw is the company's financials. Now, this doesn't give me the full picture of why the company is behaving or performing the way it is. In order to understand that, what I would do is I would open 10 different tabs, open the earnings call, the investor presentation, the annual report, the quarterly report, and then I would try to make sense out of it. But it is so easy to miss a detail by doing that. Now, what I do is I shove all of these details into ChatGPT and enter a quite extensive prompt, which I will share with all of you. This prompt reveals all of the details which I would earlier find out manually, and it would take me hours and hours of time to figure out for each company. So now I would just upload all of those PDFs together, the annual report, the earnings calls, and some balance sheet, whatever I have my hands on, and I would feed them into this one prompt. And in a few seconds, it gives me the complete investment note that covers everything that I need to know. The prompt is structured into 7 different sections. The first is the business overview and competitive positioning. It answers what the company actually does, how it makes money, who is its customers, and who are the competitors, and what gives this company the particular edge, which I think it has. So, in case of MGL, the AI actually breaks it down and breaks down their revenue mix, how much comes from CNG, from PNG, and also explains why their license area and cost structure acts as a moat. Then comes the financial performance summary. And this is where it summarizes the last few years of revenue, EBITDA, profit margins, and ratios. It also explains why margins have moved up or down, whether cash flows are matching the profits, how the debt positioning is being done. For MGL, it pointed out that despite lower gas allocations, they managed to figure out and have stable margins, which is a sign of strong operational control. The third thing that I look at is the valuation. This is one of my favorites. It checks how the current market price compares to the fair value. It looks at the P, PB, EBITDA. It also mentions how it stacks up against the peers. It tells me if the stock looks undervalued or fully priced. The fourth one is the management quality and governance. And this is something we often skip while looking at charts. It looks at the promoter shareholding trends, governance issues, capital allocation, and how transparent the management has been. Basically, it tells me whether I can trust the people running the company or not. Then we move on to the sectoral outlook. This is where AI connects the dots with the bigger picture, the policy environment, demand growth, risk factor in the sector. For MGL, it talks about how the government is pushing for cleaner fuels, biogas projects, and how India's energy mix is shifting. Section 6 is about the performance. It summarizes what happened in the last quarter, revenue growth, margins, volume trends. And finally, the seventh one of my most favorite pieces, is to look at the company with Buffett's lens. So, if it were up to Warren Buffett, would he invest in this company at this price or not? Buffett would often look for, is the business simple? Is it something that we understand? Is it durable? Does it have a moat? Are the return on equity high? Is the stock available at a reasonable price? The end result is a clear call whether it's a buy, hold, or avoid. So instead of me reading through hundreds of pages, this gives me a balanced view of numbers, narratives, and even the management quality. So when I applied this on MGL, I'll take you all the way down to what it spit out for me. So it's a buy call, and there is a potential upside of 15 to 20% is what it says. But according to my analysis, there is a lot more potential. So, based on all of this research, I finally went ahead and bought these 3 different stocks, and I repeated this same exact process for all the other stocks that I purchased as well. I am going to build more position into the stocks when there are dips. Instead of spending hours reading and studying through various resources, I can use AI to give me the complete picture for any given stock. Guys, this isn't about short term guessing or trading. This is about taking wise decisions in investments and making long term confident calls using AI. If you want to see how I use this same strategy in other stocks, I will break it down in my upcoming videos. If you found this useful, do drop a like, share it with your friends who want to learn how to invest, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.